Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack. Hello and welcome to Fresh Take from What Fresh Hell, laughing in the face of motherhood. This is Margaret.
And this is Amy. And today we are talking to Cat and Nat. They have been friends since they were teenagers, but grew closer when they became moms and started confiding in each other about the more taboo topics of parenting. And it wasn't long after that when they decided to bring the conversation online and became the hilarious woman that everybody knows as Cat and Nat. Cat and Nat host the Mom Truths podcast. Their videos have millions of views on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and everywhere else. And they have a brand new book, Cat and Nat's Mom Secrets, Coffee-Fueled Confessions from the Mom Trenches. Welcome, Cat and Nat.
Thank you so much for having us.
That was a good short intro. I need to steal that from you. I like that.
We'll text it to you. To you. And you guys can't see, it's a podcast, but we are talking to Cat and Nat. They're in their car. It's like watching Cat and Nat on YouTube, but they're talking back to us. It's like an episode come to life, an interactive episode.
Well, our car, it started off as just being a safe place where we could lock the doors. And even if the kids were playing, like street hockey or in the street, they could not get inside. And that's how it started. And then it's just become our thing. It's comfortable seats, good lighting, good sound.
I just upgraded to the light color seats and big difference. Big difference.
Nice. Huge.
Yeah.
Is it always your car? That's your home studio usually?
Yeah. She doesn't like to drive. So universally it's known that I'm the driver, but we actually have the same car. Believe it or not, we have twinning cars.
No surprise. No surprise, really.
Twinsies.
Both of the husbands are Marks. We have the same dogs. We have the same cars.
That's so funny because both of our husbands are Davids.
No.
And we both have 3 kids. We're the same. We're twinsies.
And other than that, not really the same at all. I was going to say, but you guys, we met doing this podcast. You guys go way, way back. Tell us about when you first met.
We met in high school in 9th grade, which is still like we could walk to our high school 5 minutes. We live 5 minutes from each other and our high school is right around the corner. We bonded in high school just because we didn't quite attend school that much. And her mom had a house.
We recommend that you do, though.
Always
That's not our recommendation.
Stay in school, kids.
We were our school had 2,000 people in it and no teachers did not mind if you were there or if you weren't there. And if you're not good at like self-regulation in that way, I don't know if that's the right word, and you could leave. Kat and I did. Her mom was living in New York at the time, but had a house right beside the school. So we would just go there. And then,
she was a single mom, like working so hard. And I was the jerk, like at the tiny little house she was scraping by to make ends meet and, be near a good school. And we're not going.
And we didn't go.
And you were blowing it off.
And then it was, throughout the years, it's not like we were best friends. We just every time we would see each other, there was some sort of a special connection that kept us in touch with each other. And then it was over Facebook that we found each other because we were the first of everyone we knew to have babies. Obviously, we had this perception of what it would be like to have babies. Everything would just be like in the magazines and on TV. It would be perfect. I saw she had a baby and I was like, oh my gosh, finally someone, because I had waited 9 months for someone to have a baby.
My baby was 6 weeks old when we connected. Like 6 weeks. Like I was just.
Right. And she was like buried in like anxiety and
Oreos.
And not knowing what the heck was going on.
Crying.
Saw that I was like.
Anxiety and Oreos is the name of a parenting book.
Diarrhea
right there.
and Oreos.
They're crying, not diarrhea. I didn't have diarrhea. Maybe you had diarrhea.
And so we hung out And basically it has been 13 years and we have never left each other's sides. 7 kids and 13 years.
How old are your kids now?
So that's like, I don't know.
Eldest is 13 and the youngest is 6.
Don't ask their birth dates. That's the worst.
Or their names.
And do they hang out? Like, are you guys over each other's houses all the time?
Oh, they are. You know, we have TikTok, and that's where a lot of the people are now. Mm-hmm. And they're so desperate for us to do who's our kids, because our kids go back and forth all weekend. And like after, like our kids are fluid between our houses.
They get a choice between doing what her husband's doing, my husband's doing, I'm doing, or Kat's doing. And any of the 7 can choose to go with anyone.
And my little one, my 6-year-old, always chooses to go with her, even if it's to a hockey rink to watch. So on Saturday, she gets my baby. Which is so good because at the time, my husband is somewhere else and everyone else is somewhere else. And I had to go to the hockey games alone. So now I have a friend. So
Chloe.
They eat cotton candy.
It's so true because I watch you guys all the time and it's like a Brady Bunch of these 7 blonde children. And you're sort of like, I don't know who goes with who. It's amazing. You're like sister wives practically.
That's what I was thinking. Very sister wives.
Yeah. And everyone's like, do a child reveal. And we're like, it doesn't work like that. They're all just they're one pack.
Yeah.
And honestly, like Kat and I realized that motherhood was better together. And then once we started going on the road and leaving, our husbands they found out that it's better when you're together, dinners and play dates and everything, because then they don't have to be alone.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that, because your tour is extensive. You guys are always on the road. Actually, you're going back on the road now after a sort of a forced pandemic hiatus.
After we said we were done with tour, give us a pandemic and we're back on tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, tour is so needed when you have an online community because you get to see people in real life. And I think when you get to touch people and see people and actually feel emotion, you ladies know that online is so one way and you don't actually get to see people's faces smiling and laughing. And I think anything came out of the pandemic was that we need each other so badly and experiences are so important. And I think tour for us is that. And, you know, people share their stories. And for some women, I mean, we've had women who have not been out, and I'm not joking, 9 or 10 years. And their first time is to one of our shows, or they've never left their kids. And we're the one reason they've done it. And I'm not talking babies. I'm talking older kids, you know, and the guilt. And I think just the permission to be around a bunch of women.
Yes.
The show's not even about us, you know, it's about the whole crowd and the community. And we're trying to give them a feeling and an experience. It's not to come watch us two fools. We're just giving you permission to have fun and laugh and feel normal. And people cry because we always highlight another woman in the audience, you know, and friendships have been made. And really is a show that anchors in being a woman, and men come and they're so good at, like, you know, they're like, it feels like I went to therapy. I think it's about humor and permission, and you can still be you and a mom. And that's what it's all about.
And do you feel that ratcheted up after the pandemic? Because we've certainly had that experience doing live shows. And I've had my husband was like, I've never seen anything like this. Like women in communion, just all screaming and like going for it. And it's a happening, as they used to say in the 60s.
We do have quite a rowdy audience before too, who we have a podcast full of stories that are not good for children on the listening right now.
Right.
But I would say, I think any mom is eager to get out, or woman is like, they're hungry. If that makes sense.
And if we can be the ones to host the evening and make the excuse to get out, we are so happy to do that and get rowdy with them.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Like, you guys have paid for a babysitter. You've gotten together. This is on your calendar. Perhaps a little rosé has been had, a little pregame. And you're just surfing the wave. You're on stage. You're almost just sort of serving, like, you guys just enjoy yourselves and let me know when you're ready. But you guys talk amongst yourselves. It's watching them enjoy themselves is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And there's something about women, I think, coming together. Another thing that we find is that unlike certain shows that you do, people come out in pairs, you know, it's a date night or whatever. Women come out in groups of 10, 12, 14, and there's something wonderful about women in community with each other. Like, they're all there to share this experience together.
And guys, some people come alone.
That's what I was going to say.
Alone. Like
every show, there's a handful that are alone.
And then the women around them literally are just like, we got you. And it is to us, that's like the epitome of community is you feel safe enough to come alone to our show, a night out, get dressed up, go downtown. To us, it's like, thank you. We're just so honored and like humbled by the fact that I always say to her, why are they here? Like,
I'm like, I don't know, but I'm so excited to be here.
Like, but why? Or are like, are we supposed to do something? It always, I can't grasp it.
But why are they there? They're there because there's something that you two have tapped into. And that thing is sort of realness as moms. Like there's something that you offer people that is dropping the facade a little bit.
And the other thing is that what we have found when we tried to, after a while, really discover what is the reason that they are taking their nights and sharing it with us. And a lot of people have said it is this friendship that makes them feel safe in a world where so often women get a bad rap or, this, like, they're all like mean to each other and they see like a pureness in this friendship that, brings back hope, but also a friend that they used to have, a friend that they do have, a friend that they haven't seen in a long time, or a friendship that they aspire to have. There's just something really nice to know that there are friends that are absolutely pure. People ask us all the time, do you fight? Like, I'd never spend that much time with my best friend. And we can honestly say like this, we bring each other joy and support and not like no judgment all the time. It feels good to be together and people can feel that.
And friendship, if you actually think about it, because I had a moment where I saw two men and they were so intimate. I knew they weren't a couple. I was watching them. I was at a DMV. I had a car accident and they were there. And I was watching them communicate and I had to know their story because the way they were communicating and together, it was too intimate to be a couple.
Like there wasn't that complicated, like
it was too intimate.
We don't sleep in the same bed. We don't do finances together. We don't run a family together because those things complicate
I was
things.
just watching them and the way they were like taking care of each other. And I'm like, I got their story. And they were two cops who had been partners for like a million years. And I said to them, are your spouses jealous of the two of you? Because I could tell their intimacy was so tight. And they're like, sometimes, yeah. And I think what I saw in them was a pureness that you can't get in a relationship with a partner. And it's something that there's no expectations we have from each other. And you always have expectations of partners. And when you're just there for someone and they're there for you, I think that's like the epitome of safe and good. And that person holds you in every form. Like they've got your secrets.
Yeah.
And they're okay with it. They've got your good, your bad, and they just hold it.
So she runs out of the DMV. She calls me and she's like, Nat.
Yeah.
I know why they come to our show. I figured it out.
Because
they have what they have.
I could have watched them. It was like a moment.
It's incredible. You guys do have something special. We're talking to Cat and Nat, and they have a new book out. We're going to take a break and hear about the book right after this. For some of us, tax season is one of the only times that we look at our finances fully. And once it's over, well, that was terrible. And it is completely understandable not to want to think about it for another whole year. But using Monarch and being intentional with your finances in an ongoing way helps you see where your money is going and how you can put your refund to best use.
We are here to tell you, simplify your finances with Monarch. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop.
Feel aware and in control of your finances this tax season and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code FRESH.
As you know, my husband and I are preparing to send, 3 kids off to college, and I cannot tell you how helpful Monarch has been in showing us our full financial picture, helping us to track our spending and reach important savings milestones. Our weekly meeting, Amy, it's now run by Monarch.
Love it. Achieve your financial goals for good with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes money management simple.
Use code FRESH at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off at monarch.com, code FRESH.
All my kids learned to swim when they were little. It was super important to me that they be confident and safe in the water. There was only one problem with that, taking them to swim lessons. I mean, the pools were freezing. There were always cranky adults doing laps right there. And it was definitely not, for any of us, what you would call fun.
Amy, Heard. But now there's Goldfish Swim School. Goldfish takes a really thoughtful approach to swim lessons, combining research-based teaching with a warm, kid-friendly environment that actually helps kids thrive in the water.
Every detail at Goldfish is thoughtfully designed to create a golden experience, from shiver-free, warm indoor pools to comfy waiting areas for parents to professionally trained lifeguards on deck.
Goldfish uses an approach called the science of swim play, which combines guided play with proven teaching techniques to help kids learn to swim, build water safety skills, and gain confidence all at their own pace. Lessons are designed to meet kids exactly where they're at.
If you've been thinking about swim lessons or just wondering where to start, this is a great opportunity. Right now, Goldfish Swim School is offering a waived membership plus your child's first lesson free at participating locations.
Just visit goldfishswimschool.com/free to find a location near you and enroll using promo code FREE.
That's goldfishswimschool.com/free, promo code FREE. So we're back. We're talking to Cat and Nat. They have a new book out, Cat and Nat's Mom Secrets, Coffee-Fueled Confessions from the Mom Trenches. Are these your mom secrets or your listeners' mom secrets or both?
Well, Amy, I will tell you that when we were doing one of our second tours, we decided that we really wanted some more like audience participation. Again, we don't like standing on stage and being all about us. We want it to be about the whole crowd. So we were like, how can we get them involved? So we're like, we'll put a fishbowl out in the lobby and we'll ask people to put their anonymous confessions. If they want to put their name, then we're happy to like call them out and ask them more details. And when we started reading these confessions, you could tell that these were secrets that people were holding like so close and privately that they've told nobody else before, because they actually thought as mothers that they were the only ones who had done this. When we read it out loud and the roar of the audience and everyone being like, me too, me too, me too, you could just see that everyone felt better knowing that they weren't alone. So a lot of the secrets in the book are confessions from our audience, anonymous, but then Kat and I really explore how we can relate to these secrets. And we really do go and tell a lot of things we've never said before, stories about how we grew up in our teenage years, in our 20s as mothers. And I can honestly say there are things my mother and my husband and my friends have never heard before.
Yeah. This structure is really cool because it starts with mom confession. And they're like maybe not exactly you, but they're very relatable. I want to start a little bit since we were talking about marriage and that intimacy of friendship. I love the section in the book where you're talking about like dating your kids and like how that kind of, one of the things you capture really well is like, there's an idea. This seems like a great idea. This is going to solve it, right? There's somebody wrote it in a parenting book or someone has this great idea. And like, where does it go wrong? This idea of like, we're going to have one-on-one dates with our kids.
I literally I know that we wrote about this in the book, and I know that I've heard, I have a sister-in-law who does it. And actually, my father-in-law used to do, and your dad used to do it too, like one-on-one dates, like this idea. Last night I was laying in bed and I was thinking about things, and I was thinking about how I don't get a lot of individual time with my two older ones. So then I thought to myself, oh, maybe I could go, my mind was running last night.
I got it.
And I was like, maybe I could take my daughter out to dinner. I'm like, and then I was like, oh, it'd be so fun to do like a weekend with my daughter. I'm like, but then my son will want that too. And I'm like, and then there's the other two. I'm like, no. I can't start this.
Once you open that door, my dad took my oldest brother on a golfing trip for his 40th birthday, I think. And then we're like, where are we going? And he's like, oh my God, I've just committed. There's 4 of us. He's like, I've just committed to 4 full trips with these lunatics. You know, like I just want to play golf with my kid. But once you do it with one, you're in.
Yeah.
Even we're grown people and we're still like, okay, when is it my turn?
Absolutely.
And I have, I think this book is really reflective of, there's not a lot of books for parents who've had kids for a few years. There's a lot of books for younger kids.
Yep.
And I feel like this is a book reflective of us as moms in the next stage, where we're a little bit tired. Mm-hmm. We don't have the same energy to be like, I just think of how much energy I put into my first one.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, the third one, I'm like, there's the story of the apple orchard in and
yes,
we're going away this weekend. And the same thing, I said, oh, we're going away to here. Do you remember when we went? And she's like, I've never been. And I'm like, oh my God, we used to do so much with you, with the other two. But then you just get, it's really worth, like,
oh my gosh.
You know, and I feel like this book is such a good representation for moms who can, when they're newer kids, they can, whatever they're called, like babies or like, you know, under 5, you can read to see what's coming. But as moms, I feel like, I don't know how old your kids are, but you're just like a little more seasoned. You're a little more like everything's dropped and you're just kind of like literally, and you're just kind of like.
And I think when you have little ones, you have this idea in your head of like, I can make it turn out well and I can do it without making mistakes. And then our kids are between 9 and 18 now.
Oh, same.
And so, yeah, we're just sort of like, oh, right. You can't do it without making mistakes. Your best laid plans go horribly wrong. And so.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of freedom in letting go of that idea too, of like, okay, not every day is a magical trip to the apple orchard. A lot of days are just dinner. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the book. You just summed up the book as normalizing all the mistakes we carry. Because I could have beat myself up that she's like, but I've never been to the apple orchard. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? Because the older ones don't want to go anymore. And the younger, like, but this one's lost out on all the memories. So I do feel like this book is so,
yes,
there is no book like it right now for that age.
And I love that you said, because that really is the word, is that letting it go and knowing that it's going to be okay gives you the freedom from guilt and be able to relax. And actually, when you do experience that freedom as a mom, you can sometimes have a little bit just more fun with them because you're not so stressed about getting it right.
So, Kat, if your mom's secret is, I didn't take my 3rd kid to the apple orchard, like the rest of us can sit here and be like, okay, that's like on a scale of 1 to 10, that's 0.5 in terms of a mom's secret, right? But like the mom's secrets in this book aren't, the bodies are buried in the garden. They're like, I didn't take my 3rd kid, right? My 3rd kid didn't get a birthday party or something.
There's a few bad ones in there that we can't talk about. You said this was PG, so we're going
to leave those secrets to the book readers.
Some R-rated ones. But nobody's getting murdered. The things that you think only you do.
No.
That'll be the 3rd book.
I mean, there is some illegal activity in the book.
That'll be Cat and Nat Solve Crimes. That'll be the 3rd book.
Right. Save those. But I just mean the things you keep to yourself, they become bigger when you're like, only I am the only mother who would ever forget my kid's birthday, for example. And you're definitely not, but it takes sharing it to find that out.
Yeah, we have forgotten a kid, literally, like on an island, on a dock, that's in there. Like,
so is the same kid too.
I think the secrets and the confessions are more about these things that make you feel like awful parents. And, although the apple orchard isn't a terrible thing, part of me did feel bad that I have given her nothing.
Sorry, she felt so bad. She actually took her.
Yeah,
this year.
She
was too old for it, but that's okay.
You do carry that you don't have.
Yes,
you didn't give them the same breadth of experience that you give your first. So I think as moms, even though maybe it's not, the guilt isn't sitting here, it's sitting somewhere in you that you're carrying all the things you're not doing. So the confessions and the secrets are more about, announcing that the basic things that we carry every day aren't necessarily like these big secrets. They're that we all do it, but no one talks about it. So it really is this conversation of like, her son's always talking about bad things. He's the fourth,
bad things?
Yeah.
Yeah, bad things.
Like I don't want to say but like,
things that
like could be on crime podcasts, like he's 7 and we're concerned about crime podcasts with him, but it's just part of motherhood. When you talk about things, you're like, oh, I'm not alone. I don't carry this with me my whole life and be like, I was a bad mom.
But that doesn't happen until you share it, right? It takes sharing the experience and the things you're ashamed of to realize you're not alone. You have to do that first.
Totally. That's actually exactly how Kat and I originally bonded. So when I said we met again through Facebook, we started hanging out, but we had some catching up to do. And we
were very polite.
We were very polite still. We're still kind of like dating.
Hi, friend.
Hey, Ben.
Right.
Yeah. Can I get you something to drink?
She used to put out snack platters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's an early stage when you're still putting out the snack platters.
But it was one particular conversation, but it became so many more I shared something with her that I thought really was unique to me as a mother. And I thought if I say it out loud, it might mean that I'm facing something really bad. And she just made me feel so at ease, told me that's totally normal. Like in that moment, I had such a weight lifted off me. When I shared, she let me know it was normal. And that's really, the more we kept sharing, the closer we got. And now there's nothing we don't share with each other.
We are talking to Cat and Nat, and we'll be back with even more mom confessions. Amy, when I'm having a good hair day, it usually makes my whole day better. And that's why on every day, I'm taking Nutrafol.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand. And it's the #1 hair growth supplement brand personally used by dermatologists. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are peer-reviewed, NSF certified for sport, and clinically tested.
Nutrafol offers multiple formulas for men and women tailored to different life stages and lifestyle factors, so you get support that's actually right for you. Adding Nutrafol to your daily routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed, with automated deliveries and free shipping to keep you on track.
Let your hair be one less thing to worry about. See visibly thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you visit Nutrafol.com and enter promo code LAUGHING.
That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code LAUGHING. My favorite skincare products actually feel more like self-care, like they're so nice to put on and they smell so good that I'm actually happy when I get to that part of my day. And I swear that is how I feel about Osea's anti-aging body balm.
Amy, you are usually the lotions and potions queen on this podcast, but I have to say, hard agree.
Osea's anti-aging body balm is a liquid silk body balm that combines the lasting hydration of a lotion with the firming power of a serum, leaving skin smoother and firmer.
This body balm is clinically tested and designed to deliver visible results you can see and feel.
So we've gotten to use this product for a couple of months now, and I swear I have really noticed firmer and smoother skin, like on the back of my hands. It's like getting a mini spa treatment from head to toe.
Get a spring-worthy glow with clean, clinically tested skincare from Osea. And right now, we have a special discount just for our listeners.
Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code FRESH at OseaMalibu.com.
That's 10% off your first order with code FRESH at OSEAMalibu.com. One of the things that I think people hold on to a lot of guilt about, and I loved this line from the book, I have to read it. When you're talking about being a working mom, being away from your kids, and the idea I think a lot of us have is that work is a separate place from home and children. And you say in the book, we cannot escape being mothers just by being away from our kids. Talk a little bit about that chapter, because it really just touched me. Like, that's right. Like, we are always doing both jobs.
I think it's changing. I hope I can see it changing a little bit, but I don't know how much it will change, how quickly. But I think that what happens with moms is, especially when you're a primary person who feeds them and takes care of them, right from the first 9 months when you're carrying the child, you're responsible for the child. Mm-hmm. And dad can go out or your partner can go out, drink, party, boys. Like,
if you think about it, he's not all those doctor's appointments that you have to make for his baby too.
Right.
He never made those appointments.
Right. And then it carries on to feeding, and right down to, we set a standard quite high, like right off the bat. And I think that what happens is when you're a first time mom, the control takes over in your brain and you begin to just, take it all on. And then when someone does it differently, you're like, no. And you feel like you have to get the control back because you're so out of control as a woman.
And like as small as the way that once I asked him to pack the diaper bag, how could he do it like that? That's not how you pack a diaper bag.
And I think as we talk about maturing as moms, with the fact that we can leave them is, number one, a huge change for us. And then number two, the way we see leaving. And yes, we are still moms on the road, grocery shopping, Instacart, making sure the play dates, because we're the contact of play dates. We're the contact of we're still managing from the road and they're still calling us and asking for things. Like we'll get phone calls like when we're on a TV segment of being like, mom, and so the shift is still not 100%, like it's not there yet, but leaving has given our kids, they say dad now, but when we're home, it's always, and the mind blowing thing is, I don't know how many women relate to this. I could be in the kitchen and my husband could be right beside me.
Yep.
And they'll all say mama over and over and over again. But my husband will continue to just keep on doing what he's doing. I feel like because he doesn't even hear mom either. You know what I mean? So
I've heard you say invisible earplugs. Like he's got the invisible earplugs in.
I just don't think they hear it. So I do feel like we as women sometimes take on too much. And sometimes I feel like it's on us to push back and be like, actually, you can call your dad or you can call grandma.
And I think what that chapter offers, even for people, most moms are not going out on the road and doing TV stuff and doing shows.
At work.
Right. But they're at work, and you end that chapter by saying the show must go on. And it's like, that's what you're offering to everybody. Like,
yes,
it's okay to say for yourself, your show must go on. Like, just like you guys are doing an actual show, but you're putting in people's paths. Like, we've done it. We've had to go and do this. And guess what? The world doesn't fall apart just because we have to do our show.
And if I think every woman could switch the focus to the more people who love your children, the better off you'll be. The more people who you have around, the bigger your village. Like if grandma wants to help, if your mother-in-law wants to help, even if you don't necessarily love the way they do things, say yes, because what a gift to get your children to understand that people do it differently, but that's okay.
And that they can trust other people than just you, because you're not going to be their one and only forever and always. And it's nice to know other people can love them and take care of them too, not just you.
So we've been doing our podcast for 5 years and we're completely opposites. It seems to me that you guys are peas in a pod, that you're two of a kind, and Margaret and I are much more like Ernie and Bert, Laverne and Shirley, like complete opposites. But we've totally learned things along the way from each other that have changed how each of us parent. We've definitely kind of meet in the middle. How has doing all this work and all this time together, how has that changed how each of you mom?
Who knows now?
No, but honestly, I would say, who is like my, let's say, inspiration, mentor. But like, if I have a question about parenting, first person that I trust the most to ask a question about a situation in parenting is her.
Wow.
She is definitely inspires and is an influence on my parenting because I see how great she does it. And I trust that she's going to come up with a good idea. Or if we both don't know, we'll come up with a good way to handle it together.
Yeah, I think that's what most of parenting is. A lot of people don't have that, right? They have a spouse who maybe isn't a mom, or our partner who's not a mom, and a moms sometimes think of it differently and sometimes don't want an answer. They just want to hear that, okay, this is not terrible. This is okay. Yep. And I think that, again, this book is a reflection of kids in the next phase where, you kind of, everything changes again. And it is a different ball game. And I think that when you have a community to make you feel normal, that's what it's about. And I think that we're so ingrained and enmeshed together that her daughter will come to me for she knows what. My daughter will go to her for they actually come to both of us for different reasons. And I think that that's what's great about the more people in your life.
Mm-hmm. I want to finish with the last chapter in your book, which is where you write letters to your younger selves, and take us through some of the takeaways there. And then there's a quote I want to highlight.
I mean, this chapter is kind of the essence of everything we try to do. And I think that basically the joy and the fun and the greatness of motherhood has often been stripped away. And I feel like that's the downfall of social media. It seems like so much of it's a burden. And I think that motherhood's not a burden. I think that we have to find the vulnerability and the fun and the gong show, because motherhood is not perfect. It's a journey. And just when you think you have it, it changes again. So if you can let go and realize you enjoy this, like you're a good mom, I think we can find what motherhood's about. And that's really, we come from single moms, and my mom worked around the clock. We literally lived in a freaking cabin with no electricity and no toilet, and would roll quarters to get to the community center for 50 cents. We had nothing growing up. And I remember I would never want a different mom. Like at the end of the day, no one wants a different mom. They don't want a prettier mom, a fitter mom, a mom who can cook. I can't cook. She can cook. You don't want someone different. And I think if we can just let go of who we think we should be, let go of this expectation and start living who we are, God, what a blessing to our children and what a blessing to ourselves to just let go and have permission to be vulnerable and be like, I don't have it together.
And not to have, so many grand expectations. When we went into motherhood and marriage and all this, we thought it was going to be a certain way. And if it wasn't that way, then it won't be a success. Now we know, like, there are so many bumps in the road. Your partner doesn't have to be your one and only. You don't have to look and have everything together all the time. That you really just need to, so many things that we thought were important when we were younger, we realize now aren't important. But what is important is, finding joy in this journey, because it can be really funny and fun.
I think going back to like what draws people out too is that thing of like, you make it look fun, like you're having a good time. And I think that's what so many moms have lost. And the quote I wanted to highlight, you say, it's your kid's ride. You are in the back seat. And I think that idea of like, we can't run everything. We can't make everything perfect. We're along for the ride. So we might as well like let the wind be in our hair and pump some tunes and make it look fun is what you guys, that's what you offer people. And it's amazing.
Well, thank you. And I hope every mom listens and remembers that, they're not going to remember much. And I know that's really hard to handle, but they're not. But they're going to remember how you made them feel. And they're going to remember you smiling and laughing. That's what they'll remember, is your face when they walked into a room or when you pick them up from school. What are you carrying? And they'll take that feeling, with them for the rest of their lives.
I'm going to take that with me. It doesn't have to look easy. It just has to be fun along the way.
There's so much fun to be had.
It's not always fun, guys, but it is. We try to find it. We try to find the fun wherever we are.
We've been talking to Cat and Nat. Their new book is Cat and Nat's Mom Secrets, Coffee-Fueled Confessions from the Mom Trenches. Cat and Nat, tell us about your tour and your videos and everywhere that we can find you.
We are everywhere at CATANDNAT. We're creating content almost 24/7. March 29th, our book comes out. It is obviously, it's a follow up to our Mom Truths book. We had such a good time writing this and we think that you'll enjoy it. We're back on tour, catandnattour.com, the Mom Truths podcast. We are creating content on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube.
The show is not kid friendly. Do not bring your children. It is not PG. It is rated R.
It's just for you, Mom.
R.
It's only for you, Mom, not for the kids. That's another highlight. Well, Cat and Nat, thanks so much for talking to us today. This was awesome.
Thank you, guys. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.